छन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। All right, kids, can you all see me? Is it okay? Is the video okay? Is the sun?
Yes, it's very good.
Okay, thank you, Govind. Okay, we will get started. As you all know, we have Kahoot at the end of the session. So I want to make sure that you all are paying great attention to what we are saying here. Okay. And okay, I'm thinking that we should learn some slokas. So that way, Mataji, is it okay if I'm doing some Bhagavad Gita verses? This will help with the memorization, and we can also send a recording of the Bhagavad Gita slokas so that kids can recite it through the week, and then we can read a new set of slokas. Is that okay, Mataji? Hare Krishna. Priyanka Mataji, are you on? Okay, I don't see her. Anyways, Aditya.
Okay.
Aditya Kastur. Yeah.
That's
So we will watch verses at the time.
What do I do? Do I just see this? You just eat it up.
Oh, 1 second. What's
Aditya, can you recite the sloka? And we will recite it after you. So go slow. Aditya?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So I was going to go through some slokas before we get started, Mataji. Is that okay?
Yes. So I request to Madhusita Mataji, please announce for participant, raise hand so you can unmute one by one.
Okay. Can you unmute
Sure, Mataji.
Aditya Mataji?
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
So I see Aditya.
Varun, are you here?
Yes, Varun is here.
Okay, you can unmute him, Mataji.
Okay, Varun, you can unmute yourself. Varun, are you there, Varun? Okay, he's not responding.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're here?
Okay.
Okay. So would you like
can
to
you
read?
just,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Not-
read. No, don't go fast because we have to repeat, Varun.
Natvevaham jatunasam.
Natvevaham jatunasam. Kids, would you be able to repeat also? Mataji, do you mind if everybody is unmuted so they can repeat the sloka?
Okay.
Okay, Varun, just a minute. Natvevaham jatunasam. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Natvam neme janatipa.
Natvam neme janatipa.
Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha.
Na chaiva na bhavishyamaha.
Sarve vayamata param.
Sarve vayam atah param. Can you do it once more, Varun?
Yeah.
Varun? Can you do it once more?
Natvevaham jatunasam.
Natvevaham
Natvam janadipa.
Natvam neme janatipa.
Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha.
Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha.
Sarve vayamata param.
Sarve vayam atah param. One more time, Varun. Varun? Natve, can you do it, Varun?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Natvevaham jatunasam.
Natve
Natvanimi janadipa.
Natvanne
Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha.
Nachayana Bhavishyamaha
Sarve vayamata param.
Sarve Param. Okay, who wants to say now? Who wants to go ahead and repeat this verse?
They can maybe raise hands.
Oh, yeah,
You
you
can
can
raise your hands.
Keshav has raised his hand. Go ahead, Keshav.
एवं जातु नाशम
Natvevaham jatu nasam
नात्वं नेमे जनाधिपः
natvam neme janatipa
न चैव न भविष्यामः
Nachaivana Bhavishyamaha
सर्वं अतः परम्
Sarve Vayam Ataparam. Okay, who wants to go next?
Not
Okay, I just see Gobinda. Go ahead, Gobinda.
नते
Natvevaham jatu nasam
नते वास जातु नासा नातां ने जनाधिपः न चैव न भविष्यामः
Sarve Vayam Ataparam. Sarve Vayam
वयम् अतत्परम्
Sarve Vayam Ataparam.
सर्वे वयम् अतत्परम्.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, Gobind. Okay, so I'm thinking just because we're running out on time, I'm thinking we'll go to our today's verse and then come back to the set of slokas and I'll have you recite this, okay? Okay, today's verse is 2.11, okay? So do you all remember what we did last time? What was the verse we did last time? Anybody is able to remember that?
2.10.
What verse was that we learned? No, last time meaning last class, what did we learn? Wonderful. Keshav, complete it. Karpanyadoshopahatah swabhavah prashamitam dharma samudacheta yashreyashanishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. Who wants to say that verse memorized?
Mataji, can Varun?
Yes, go ahead.
Karpanyadosho pahata swabhava prachami tam dharma samudacheta yatrayasya nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam.
Who wants to go ahead? Memorized.
I go now, Mataji.
Yes, go ahead.
Prachami tvam dharma samudacheta yatrayasya nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam.
Are you all able to see my screen, kids? Thank you so much, Keshav. Can you
Yeah,
see my screen?
Mataji.
Vedabase, are you able to see my text on Vedabase?
No.
Okay.
I see Imam Vivasvate Yogam.
Okay, then I'll share my new screen. Okay, how do I say it? Stop share and then new share. Okay. Are you able to see now?
Not yet, Mataji.
Not yet? Okay. All right. So what is the translation saying? Now I'm confused about my duty and I have lost all composure because of my surly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered to you. Please instruct me. Like that, Arjuna is saying. What was the 4 reasons why Arjuna did not want to fight? I told you 4 reasons that Arjuna said, I'm not going to fight in the war.
Compassion.
Compassion, yes.
Sinfulness.
Yes. Fear for sinful reactions, yes.
And even if he wins, he can't tell anything to anyone. And last was family, right?
Yes, destruction of family traditions. The first was compassion with family and friends. That's why I don't want to fight. Second point was that even if there was no enjoyment for him, even if it is victorious, because he will not be able to share his victory with anybody, right? And then there was the third reason saying, I am fearful of the sinful reactions that are going to come to me because I'm going to kill my friends and relatives. And then fourth reason was that destruction of family traditions. And there is also one more reason that will be clarified here, and that is indecision. So totally now there are 5. Indecision. He was very kind of confused, totally confused and indecision. So that's why he couldn't even decide what to do, whether to fight or not to fight. Okay? Is everyone okay? Can I ask someone now? Aditya, would you be able to tell me the 5 reasons why Arjuna was not going to fight in the war? Aditya? I think it's better you turn on the video and your microphone. Aditya?
Yeah, he's not responding, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay, 2 people have raised their hands. Gobind, can you tell me the first 2 points, please? And then I'll ask Keshav to communicate and tell me the next 2.
The first one is being compassion. And no.
Yes.
Family decision. Destruction.
Yeah.
Mataji?
Yes.
Aditya can't unmute, so don't call him.
No. If he cannot unmute, he has to log off and log in back. This is a very interactive session, and I want to make sure that everybody is able to talk. Okay. Okay, Varun. Keshav, can you clarify the next 2 points, please? Okay, I don't hear from Keshav.
Yeah, I think he backed out.
Okay. Varun, would you be able to say, or Kiona, would you be able to say? Kiona didn't say that, right? Kiona did say. Ganesh?
Yeah, she said it first.
Ganesh, can you say? Okay, I'm not hearing from you. All right. So the reasons you all know, right?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Keshav is back, yeah.
Okay, Keshav, yes. Go ahead, Keshav.
So, even if he gets victory, he won't have any.
Yeah. Keshav, we cannot hear you. You need to speak a little bit closer. The microphone? Yes.
Even though if he gets victory, he won't have anybody to celebrate with, but to enjoy with, because all of his cousins will die.
Oh, correct. That is very, very good. And then the last reason was indecision. Okay. So Arjuna, he was before this sloka, till then he was kind of talking to Krishna in a friendly manner. Like, like as if Krishna is his friend, he was talking to him. But now, just because he wanted to get serious, he's now addressing Krishna, just be my spiritual master so that you will tell me what is best for me. I am now your disciple. I'm a soul surrendered to you, Krishna. So I'm just coming to you. Please instruct me what I should do, whether I should fight the battle or not fight the battle. And we saw about the 3 kinds of miseries. Do you remember the 3 kinds of miseries that we spoke about? Yes, I see the same raised hands. Can you all turn on your videos and I will be able to see you? and you can do raised hands then. Please turn on your videos. Aditya, you should fix your computer and you should also be able to interact, okay? All right. Who's, I see only 2 raised hands from Keshav, and anybody else? Okay.
Govinda.
Yeah, you guys are already saying the answer so many times. Ovi, can you say? What were the 3 kinds of miseries?
Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Daivika.
Wonderful, wonderful. What is Adi Bhautik or Adi, what, okay, let's go from the easier. Adi Daivik. What is Adi Daivik?
Nature destruction.
Correct. It's
The
nature.
miseries that come from like nature, like earthquakes or something.
Correct, correct. What is Adi Bhautik?
Our mind? How do you pain? The
I
people?
think it's the
Yes, it's from
The
other
people.
people. Other people. Others who are going to, not only people, it could be anything like animals, mosquitoes, anything. It could be from others. That is what is Adi Bhautik, and Adhyatmik is from
It's from
mind.
body and mind.
Mine.
Like it's too cold or it's too hot.
Correct, correct. It's very, that is coming from the mind and body. Okay, very nice. All of you all remember that 3 points, the 3 things, right? That is the 3 material miseries. What is real suffering that we learned from last class?
Forget Krishna?
Yes,
Forgetting Krishna.
forgetting Krishna is the real suffering. These 3 miseries, are they really sufferings?
No.
They are sufferings, but they are temporary sufferings. It will go away after some time. But one real permanent suffering that we have, that is within us, is forgetfulness of Krishna. Okay? That is the reason why we are taking up Krishna consciousness. In order to revive the relationship that we have with Krishna, we are now taking into the process of Krishna consciousness. Okay? Are you all with me, kids?
Yes.
Okay. What else we learned? We learned about disciplic succession. What is disciplic succession?
Do not copy anyone.
No. That is wrong. What is disciplic succession?
Set an example.
No. It is not setting an example. Disciplic succession is parampara. Yes. Who said that?
Ovi.
Wonderful, Ovi. That is the right answer. It is parampara. So parampara means you are coming from a bona fide parampara system, they will say, right? So you are having Srila Prabhupada as the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Before that, we had Srila Saraswati, Saraswati Thakur as his spiritual master. Like that, it goes on. And before, first is Krishna. Krishna, it's coming from the disciplic succession. That is, it's the words of Krishna are passed from Krishna to Brahma. Like that, it is passed on to several people, and finally Srila Prabhupada got it to us, and then he gave the knowledge of this transcendental knowledge to us. That is what is disciplic succession. So we have to make sure that we are in a bona fide parampara system so that we can receive this transcendental knowledge. Okay? Are you all with me so far? What else did we learn? We also learned what does Kripana mean. What is Kripana? Kripana thinks that he is able to protect his family members from death. But do you know that we'll be able to protect the family members from death? Can the family members or you escape from death?
No.
It is not possible. So that person who is able to see, is thinking that he is on a bodily platform. He thinks that he is able to protect his family members from death, and also he has more of the family attachment and children also. Now Arjuna, he is neglecting his duties, and because of his attachment with the family, and that's why Krishna addresses him as Kripana. See, Kripana, you should not be like that. You should come out of this bodily platform, come out of this attachment to the families, and perform your duty, which is what is dharma. Okay?
Dharma Akashkosh.
So that is and one who is able to, one who has no sense of this understanding is a great fool in trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. How Arjuna understands the Bhagavad Gita is stated in the Gita itself, and yet foolish mundane scholars explain that no need to submit to Krishna as a person, but to the unborn within Krishna. There is no, so they think these other set of people, they think that Krishna has Krishna's his body and soul are different, but Krishna is just one. I mean, he has the spiritual transcendental body, right? That is what is being explained here. And we will now go on to our today's verse, which is 2.11. Okay. Okay. Aditya, are you able to speak now?
I don't.
Oh, yes, I got it. I got it to work now.
Okay. Can you repeat it slowly?
Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asocyan Anvasocastvam
We have
Prajnavadam.
to repeat.
Huh?
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kids, can you all unmute and repeat?
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. I don't want to repeat. I want kids to repeat.
Asocyan Anvasocastvam
Asocyananvasocastvam
Prajnavadam Shabhasashe
Prajnavadam
Gatasun Agatasunshya
Gatasun Agatasumscha
Anusochanti Pandita.
Okay, two more times, Aditya.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asocyananvasocastvam
Ashocyanam
Prajnavadam Shabhasashe
Prajnavadam
Gatasun Agatasunshya Nanusochanti Panditaha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan
Asocyananvasocastvam Prajnavadam Shabhasase Gatasun Agatasunshya Nanusochanti Panditaha.
Okay, who wants to say it? Anybody knows memorized here? Anybody
Can I
memorized?
try?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asocyananvatos Anvasocastvam Prajnavadam Shabhasase Agasumstra
No.
Gatasumstra Agasumstra Nanusochanti Pandita.
Very nice. Gatasun agatasuncha. Okay, Keshav, go ahead.
Asocyananvasocastvam Prajnavadamscha bhashase Gatasumscha Nanusochanti Pandita.
Very nice. Yes, go ahead. Nanu sochanti panditaha asocyan anvasu. Yeah. Okay, very nice. Thank you, Yash. Who wants to go ahead next? Okay, Yash, I saw. Anybody wants to see it and read it? Who wants to read it? Obi? Go ahead, Obi.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Ashchoyan
Asocyananvasocastvam.
Ashchoyan Anvashochas Prajana
Pragnavadamscha bhasase. Pragna.
Pragnavadamscha bhasate
Gatasun. Gatasun. Agatasuncha.
Agnatascha
Anusochanti panditaha.
Anusochanti panditaha.
Very, very good, Ovi. Thank you so much. Okay, Aditya, read the synonyms, please.
Okay. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Asocyan, not worthy of lamentation. Anvasochaha, you are lamenting. Tvam, you. Pragnya Vadan, learn tasks. Cha, also.
Learned talk. Pragnya Vadan is learned talk.
Sorry, yeah, learn talks. Also, cha, also. Pashase, speaking. Gata, lost. Ashun, life. Agata, not past. Ashun, life. Cha, also. Na, never. Anusochanti, lament. Panditaha, the learned.
Very nice. So I'm going to ask you some things here. Speaking, what is the Sanskrit word for it?
Are you asking me?
Everybody, yes, go ahead. If you know it, please go ahead. Don't waste time because
it's Bhashase.
Wonderful. Pandita.
Pandita, the learned.
Anushoshanti.
Okay, I don't want me to be saying the only. Okay, I'll let somebody else.
Anushochanti.
Lament.
Yes, lament. Then Anvasochaha.
You are lamenting.
Prajnavadan.
Some talks. Learn.
Speaking. Okay. Lost. What does lost mean?
Gata.
Gata. Correct. Life.
Ashun.
Correct. Correct. Not past. Agata. Correct. Okay. So there will be one question in Kahoot from this. Okay. All right. I reveal the question also. So better be careful. And I want you to be really, really attentive.
You could say it again.
Yeah, you have to learn.
Say it again because for some minutes,
You want to revise it? Okay.
My screen was bad.
Not worthy of lamentation. What is it? Not worthy of lamentation. Ashocyan. Okay. Lament. What does lament mean? Anusochanti. The learned. What is it?
Pandita.
Wonderful. Pandita. Okay. And Twam. What is the English word for it?
What did you say?
Twam.
You.
Correct.
You.
Correct. Bhashase.
Speaking.
Okay. Speaking. Very nice. Okay. The translation. Who wants to read the translation?
Me.
Maybe I think Naomi or Ila, she has raised her hand, I see.
Yes.
And they are Neo, yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking the learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise and lament neither for the living nor for the dead.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Naomi. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen with the today's verse and we will go through the explanation. At the end, we will be doing Kahoot. Everybody has kahoot.it or an app in your laptops or iPads? Yes? Okay. So we will go through the verse and understand the meaning, okay? Our Krishna conscious movement, it is not something new. It is a very old movement. At least 5,000 years ago, this Bhagavad Gita was repeated by Lord Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Before that, as it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, fourth chapter, can somebody read the sloka?
Can I?
Fiona? Yes.
Imam
Imam vivashvate yogam.
I'm
Vivasvate yogam.
Vivastave Vogam
Proktavanaham avyayam.
Roktaham Avayityam
Vivashvan manave praha.
Vivasvamanahe Praha
Manur ishvakave bravit.
Manur
Ishvakave bravit.
Manur Ikshvavate Prahit.
Okay. So this is the verse that he's saying. Okay, in this verse, we have learned that Bhagavad Gita was already spoken by Krishna 5,000 years ago, and here in the fourth chapter, he is actually saying that this verse has been. I mean, the Bhagavad Gita that I spoke was lost before that, and hence I have to speak it to Vivashwan, and from there on, it got passed on. Like that, Krishna is saying in this verse. And then now Krishna said to Arjuna, the science and understanding long ago, I spoke to sun god Vivashwan. In the Vedic scripture, we understand that every planet is inhabited by living entities. The sun is also one of the planets, and there are living entities in the sun. Otherwise, how Krishna could go and speak there? That is Vivashwan. The name of the person is also given. That is sun god Vivashwan. Okay. So Krishna is saying that I actually spoke it to sun god Vivashwan long ago. Okay. And sun, as we all know, it is also one of the planets. And the Srila Prabhupada clarifies what? Do you all believe that there are living entities in the sun? Did you know that? Did you know that there are living entities in the sun? No, right? You probably might not know. We would think, oh, if you go near the sun, it will burn you. But there are the people who live in the sun planet, their body is made of fire. And that is how they are able to live there in the sun planet. Okay? That is what Srila Prabhupada clarifies here. Are you all with me, kids? Mataji, is it possible to unmute them all so that we can understand?
Yes.
They all are unmuted, Mataji.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Now, because in the higher planetary system, the sun planet, moon planet, and many other planets, they are all heavenly planets. The inhabitants of those planets are very opulent. The material happiness.
So what type of planets?
The planets in the higher planetary system, the sun planet, moon planet, and other planets, they're all very opulent.
They're all heavenly.
The material happiness available in those planets are 100 and 1,000 times better than Earth. So it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that sun planet is also inhabited by living entities, but their body is made of fire. That is the difference. What is our body made of? There are 5 material elements. Our body is made up of 5 material elements. What are the 5 material elements?
Water, air, fire, and ether.
Ether. So, can you all remember this? Our body is made up of earth, water, air, fire, ether. 5 elements are there, and this is what our body is made up of. How about the bodies of the people in the sun planet? What is it made of?
Fire.
Fire only?
Fire only. Correct. Only fire. That is the right answer. In some planet, the earth is predominant. In some planet, the water is predominant. In other planets, fire is prominent. So this is the creation of God, different varieties. That is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. So in each and every planet, if you look at it, there might be some prominent element. Okay. Our body in this planet, Earth, we have 5 material elements that it is composed of. Okay. That is why we say body is a lump of matter. It is just nothing but matter. Okay? All right. Aditya, are you on?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a planet made
Can you read this sloka?
Okay. Atava bahunetena.
No, you don't have to repeat. You just
Okay. Kimi satena. I've never actually heard this verse before. Kimi satena tavarjuna. Vistabhyaham idam kritsnam. Ekam shena stito jagat.
One more time, Aditya.
Atava bahunetena kemi satena tavarjuna vistabhyaham idam kritsnam ekam shenam stito jagat.
Wonderful. This is Bhagavad Gita 10.42. Okay. This material world is composed of many millions of universe, that is 1/4 creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the remaining 3/4 is nothing but spiritual world. So what is the composition of the material world? Of the total, see, there is a, remember, there is just one, okay? In one whole, we are dividing that into 1/4, and 1/4 part is the material world, and 3/4 remaining is the spiritual world. And we think the material world itself is so big. Imagine how big the spiritual world is. It is 3/4 of the universe. Can you believe? Can you understand? This material world, there are millions of universes here, but this material universe is only 1/4 of Lord's creation. And the remaining 3/4 is nothing but the spiritual world. Okay? Do you all understand? Yes. And Keshav, I think if you can increase your volume, that will be great. So Bhagavad Gita means to understand what is God, the science of God, and God himself is speaking about himself. Otherwise, it's not possible to understand what is God. So if we carefully understand the slokas and passages mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, we can understand what is God. And the human form of life is meant for understanding God. He has this human form is meant for understanding God. He has no other business. In lower bodies that is less than that of a human being, do you think he will be able to understand God? Can a dog or a cat understand dog? Is it possible?
No.
It is not possible.
No. Human beings.
Only human beings is possible to understand Lord.
Animal doesn't have any intelligence.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. And that is why Bhagavad Gita helps us to understand who God is. And it's very important that you know the slokas and understand the meaning. Okay?
Yes,
moving on. Yeah, moving on, we are going to see. So according to Darwin's theory, the human body comes from monkey, but the evolution is accepted in the Vedic literature, but not like Darwin's. The evolution, again, according to Vedic scripture, is that living entity is different from the body, and the living entity is passing through many forms of body. So the bodies is according to the desire you have. You have gotten this material body based on the desires you have from your previous birth. Whatever desires you have, because of that desire, you are born with this particular set of body. Okay. So I am desiring something, just like we are sitting, so many ladies and gentlemen, but not one of them is similar to anyone else. They have different bodies. The body is created according to one's own desire. And who desires?
Krishna.
No. I mean, you get a body based on your desires. Krishna doesn't desire for you.
Only Brahma?
No, Govinda desired, so he got he got his body. Aditya desired, so he got his body. Likewise, Kiona desired, based on her desire, she got her body. Okay, where is the desire coming from? Anybody? Where is the desire coming from? Can you? Where is the desire coming from? Very important to understand. Who has a raised hand? Keshav, yes. Go ahead, Keshav.
I actually don't know.
Okay, Aditya, do you know? Yes?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Desire is coming from you, the Atma. You are, we say we are the Atma, not the body, right? And the desire is
Oh,
coming
yeah.
from soul. That is Atma.
I forgot
Desire is
that.
coming
I forgot it. That's why.
Desire is coming from you. That is why the body is that body that you have is based on the desires you have. The soul's only function is to desire, and that is why we should have full of spiritual desires, so that based on that the spiritual desire, based on that we'll have some action. See, if you have a material desire, I want a basketball, let my parents get it for me, that is the desire in you, and somehow, okay, your parents say, then you put forth in your words and say to your parents, I want basketball. And if you are like a good boy, probably your parents will say, yes, you got it, here is the basketball. So what happens? First, you have to get that desire. The desire then turns into an action, right?
Yeah.
So that is the concept that you need to understand. And where is this desire coming from? Again, where is this desire?
Atma, the soul.
Correct.
Atma.
Wonderful. That is what is the function of the soul, the Atma. Okay, very important concept to even understand. If you don't understand this, can you ask me questions? Do you get the slide? Very important slide, slide number 7. Are you all with me, kids, so far?
Mataji.
Yes, that's good. Now we are going into deeper concept, okay? We saw that our body is made up of 5 material elements. What are the 5 material elements? Anybody?
Earth, fire, water, ether,
And air.
air.
Okay, Varun, can you repeat it?
Can Govinda?
Can you repeat it, Varun?
Can I repeat Govinda?
Yeah, I see that Govinda has been active. I just want to wake up some people who are sleeping here because I don't know. Yeah, Varun, are you here?
Varun just have a small volume.
Ganesh, Ovi, they haven't talked so far.
Yeah, please go ahead. Ganesh, can you?
Ganesh, Ovi.
Okay, Ganesh, Ovi, Khushi, Yash.
Varun called. He said,
Oh, Varun, are you calling? We cannot hear you, Varun. I don't know where you are sitting. And
Varun's voice is really low.
yeah, it's absolutely low and we can't hear you anything.
And maybe his volume is 2.
Are you able to hear me, Varun?
Mataji, I'm here.
But where were you so far?
He's using my microphone right now.
I don't know. Varun, you have to change your laptop or...
Earth, water, fire, air, ether.
Yeah, that's right. But if you are not able to hear me and if I'm not able to hear you, there is a problem. That's why it said turn on the video, everyone. So kids, I see that you're here, but I'm not seeing any response from Kushi, Ganesh or anybody. I don't know who else is. Varun, please change your laptop or do something about it, okay? We can't hear you again. Okay.
He said 5.
Okay. Now we are going into the next concept, that is the subtle body. What is the subtle body composed of? The subtle body is made of mind. Can you all remember these 3 things? Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Can you remember this? Mind, intelligence, and false ego. They are nothing but the subtle body. Ganesh, do you want to say what the subtle body is made of? Kushi? Okay. Okay, Kushi S. I don't know who's S, but who else is here? Okay, I'm not able to see anymore here. Okay, Adya, can you say what is the subtle body made of? Or Naomi? Okay. Yeah, 2 participants. Keshav. Anybody else? Keshav is very, very active. I see that. Okay, Keshav, go ahead.
Uh, so the subtle body, uh, intelligence, false ego, and the mind.
Correct. And what does the mind? What does the mind do? The mind's function is
intelligence.
No. The mind's function is thinking, feeling, and willing. Okay, mind is able to think, it's able to feel, and it also has a will. Okay, so that is thinking, feeling, and willing is the function of the mind. Intelligence, it is able to discriminate and tell you according to you, based on your intelligence, however it is, it will tell you what is good for you to go and what is bad. Okay, and then the false ego is nothing but thinking you are the body, but you are not the body. You are the body, but you are the soul. That is false ego. Real ego means thinking that you are the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Okay, these are some things that you need to understand. Maybe, I mean, at this point, if you understand what is subtle body and what is gross body,
Can you hear me now?
enough. Yeah. So the nature will immediately offer you a similar body according to the thinking at the time of death. Do you all remember? Is anybody knowing this verse? 2.13.
Mataji Vara knows it.
Okay, can you go ahead and say the verse?
Okay.
2.13.
Okay. Okay. 2.13.
Tata Dehantara Prapti. It will come in the second line.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Wait, is 2.13 Dehinasmin?
Yes.
Okay. Dehinasmin Tade Komaran Yovanandra Tata Dehantara Prapti Dirasatna Moshiti.
Read the translation.
Huh?
Do you know the translation?
No.
Okay, but you are saying it by heart memorized?
Yeah, I don't know the translation.
No problem. So this slide is also very important because it is said that the mind, the subtle mind, is the creator of the next body. What happens is the impressions in your mind, they carry on to the next body. Okay, that is why some people, they play very good piano, or some people, they have very good musical skills, Carnatic music skills. Right from the birth, they are like recognizing the swarams, recognizing the talams, and so on and so forth. That is because your impressions from the mind from this birth gets transferred to the next body in your next life. Okay. And we know that our subtle body is made up of three things, that is mind, intelligence, and false ego. And our gross body is made up of 5 material elements. And based on the desires that you have, you get the next body. And where does the desire come from? Ganesh? Ganesh, can you say?
The desire comes from yourself.
Yes, yourself means what?
Soul.
Your soul.
Correct.
Atma.
Correct. Atma, or the soul. Moving on to
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead. Who's this?
Kiona.
Kiona, yes.
On slide 8, the one you
Slide 8.
Yes, so is subtle body good that you have that type of body, or is it bad that you have that?
Oh, no. The thing is, the both gross body and subtle body is there in us.
What?
Both the gross body and subtle body is there in us. Our body is subtle body and gross body. The subtle
both of us.
Yeah, we cannot see the body. Subtle body, we cannot see. Gross body, we are able to see. See, this is all gross body. And subtle body, we cannot see. The mind, intelligence, and false ego, we cannot see that. Can we see subtle body?
No.
We cannot see subtle body. But the subtle body has so many functions, as I told you. Okay? Very good question, Kiona. Therefore, this human body is meant for going back home, back to Godhead. We are all eternal. As God is eternal, we are also eternal because we are part and parcel of the God. Why we say we are eternal? Anybody able to answer that question? Why are we eternal like God? God, we know He is eternal. He is always there. But how do we say we are eternal? We die, right? How can we say we are eternal?
Because God doesn't
Our
die.
souls.
Soul is eternal.
The soul is eternal, not the body. The soul is eternal one.
Keshav said that,
The
right?
soul just comes inside the body.
Yes, Mataji, I said that.
Wonderful.
me
Thank you
too.
so much, Keshav, for bringing this point up. We are eternal means we are the soul, and the soul is eternal. And Lord, He is also eternal, right? The God is always blissful, jolly. Similarly, our nature means the soul's nature is blissful and jolly. Sachit Ananta Vigraha. Sachit Anand means, Sat means eternal. Chit means blissful. Sorry, Chit means full of knowledge, okay? And then Anand means blissfulness. Okay, just remove this one. I'm so sorry. Okay, Sat means eternal. Eternal means Sat is Sat. And Chit means full of knowledge, and Ananta means blissfulness. Here also we are learning a lot of concepts, right?
Yes.
And our soul, we as Atma, we are also Sachit Anand, meaning eternal, and we are full of bliss and full of knowledge. Okay? That is our nature. We want to live. We don't wish to die. We don't wish. Does anybody wish to die? But do you wish to die? Anybody here?
No, but you're forced to die, because even if you don't die by a gunshot or something like,
but we are forced to die, like heart attacks can come anytime, or we might meet with an accident anytime. Something could happen to us. So we don't know. Our death is not in our hands. Any moment, anytime we can die. But we don't want to die actually. Within us, it says, oh, we should always be happy, and we should always strive a life without death. All this is coming from the soul, because the soul is Sachit Anand, meaning it is eternal, it is full of bliss and full of knowledge. Okay? When our body is destroyed, it's annihilated, the soul exists. It goes to another body. But if you have perfected your life, then you get your spiritual body. There is no more changing of bodies. Okay? My dear Arjuna, you are talking like a very learned man, but the subject matter which you have touched is not taken seriously by Pandita. Pandita means learned man. That means you are talking like a fool. You are talking as if the body is self. So actually, this is not the fact. The body is not the self. The self is different. If you analyze your body, what will you find? Suppose we are breathing. What is breathing? It is air only, right? So now in this verse, translation, can somebody read the translation for me? The translation for this verse? Here.
Where is the translation?
Yeah, you have to refer to Veda base and read if you have. Because if I'm sharing screen again, I have to switch this particular. Otherwise, I'll read. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of. Sorry, this is not the verse, I think. 7, right? 11. Yeah. Is it 11 or 12? What is the verse that we are doing now? Yeah, so the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of a grief. Those who are wife lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So that is what he's saying. So you are lamenting for no reason, because the soul never dies. And why are you lamenting? Because only the fools, they lament, because they think that body is self. But you, Arjuna, I don't think you are a fool. That is why he's saying, how are you able to think the body is the self? Okay. Those who are wise neither lament for living nor for dead. Okay. That is what is being clarified here. And we will move on to our screen here. Where is how do I see it? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Now.
Yes, Mataji.
So do you think, so we talked about air, right? When the breathing is stopped, what happened? We are dead, right? Now, we are so much advanced in science. Srila Prabhupada says, why don't you replace something with breathing? Something, it is nothing but air, right? We breathe and it's only air. Why can't you come up with some machine that will put some air and fix, you can inject that air into your body, and would you be able to get your life back? After losing your consciousness, would you be able to get your life back?
Yes.
Oh, how is it possible, Gobinda?
Dreams.
Say, for example, somebody is dead, okay? And we are so much advanced in science, and we are trying to create a machine filled with air, and we are trying to inject that air into another person's body who is dead. Would you be able to bring that person back to life?
No, you see. No. No.
Why are you not able to do that?
Because that person is not there. The soul already left.
The soul has left to another body. That's what it means?
Yeah.
Yeah. So only the presence of the soul determines our consciousness. If we are alive, that means there is consciousness. If there is no life, then we are unconscious. And the soul is what determines that, right? And we can't create, once the life is gone, we can't recreate our body. It is dead. That's it. Okay, and body is a lump of matter. It is once the prana, once our soul, once we become unconscious or leave our body, the soul leaves the body, then we are dead, and we cannot artificially bring you back to life. That is what Srila Prabhupada says here. Simply abruptly taking something without any proper understanding, that is not knowledge. Okay, and then Srila Prabhupada says, therefore, Krishna chastising him. You are talking like very scientific learned scholar, but you are fool number one because you are accepting body as the self. This is ignorance. What is soul? Can you all see the soul? It is very, very small. The formation of the soul, measurement of the soul, it is smaller than an atom. The tip of the hair, what do? You divide it into 100 parts and take one part from it. And then that one part, you divide it into 100 parts. That one part is the measurement of the soul. It is so tiny. That means 1/10,000th part of a tip of the hair is nothing but a measurement of the soul. 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. Okay? That is the measurement.
Mataji?
Yes.
When is Kahoot?
Yeah, we'll be doing it in 2 slides. After 2 more slides, we'll be doing it. Okay? And how do we know this? This we know through Bhagavad Gita. You cannot get life by analyzing this material body. That is not possible. Okay? So we cannot, once you are dead, you cannot recreate this body, even though we are so much advanced in the science. Okay? You have to find out what the small particle is. You have to hear. Therefore, you cannot get the knowledge by your material activities, but you have to hear it from authorities. What does authority mean here? We learned about a term from last verse that should be called. And what is that term? Ganesh? Ovi?
I don't know what authorities means.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. So we learned something from last verse, and I used that term, and that term is what is authorities here. Hear it from whom? Whom should we hear it from? Bona fide? Are you able to complete it? Bona fide? Anybody knows can raise their hands up. Okay, I'm not going to call out. Whoever knows, they can raise their hands up.
Mataji, I think I know what bona fide means.
Okay, what is it?
I think like bona fide means like a bona fide spiritual master means.
Correct.
Like he's like very knows everything, and he's not like a fraud or anything.
Correct. Bona fide means parampara, coming from an authorized parampara. That is Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara.
Technically, the meaning of bona fide would be like genuine and real, and that would also go along with the.
Correct. Bona fide sampradaya, bona fide parampara. So in our Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara, we have it coming from Srila Prabhupada, and he is the one who is giving this transcendental knowledge to us, and that is what is authorities. Okay. So he's saying that if you want to understand the soul, you have to go to a bona fide person, and that bona fide person would be your spiritual master. It could be the bona fide authority of Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara. Okay. Okay, then he gives an example. You have to take knowledge from your mother. If your mother certifies this gentleman is your father, that is correct. But if you go on researching who your father, you will be never able to find out who your father is. That is what is being clarified through this verse. And similarly,
your voice was cutting.
I'm so sorry. I'll try to see that my voice is good. Okay. You cannot have a perfect knowledge unless you hear from authority. So Krishna is the authority. Our Krishna conscious movement means you take knowledge from the best authority. You don't manufacture knowledge. That will not help you. That is Krishna conscious movement. As I told you, who is this coming from? This knowledge that we are reading, the Bhagavad Gita knowledge that we are reading, who is it coming from? It is coming from
Krishna.
Krishna. First Krishna, then it's getting passed on to Brahma, then it goes down the disciplic succession from
Narada to Vyasa.
Yes, yes. So it's finally coming to Srila Prabhupada. Okay? Okay. That is, they are not manufacturing anything. When Prabhupada happened to write the translation, he said in this Bhagavad Gita book, it is Bhagavad Gita as it is. Meaning it's all coming from Krishna. All the revelations from Krishna are written down by Srila Prabhupada because he is a pure devotee of the Lord. So here Krishna says that, my dear Arjuna, you are talking like a learned man. That is your disease. Why is he saying he is the fool number one? Can anybody say?
Because he's thinking the material body is ourself.
Ah, wonderful, Keshav. He's thinking that the material body is ourself. That is why he's saying, even though, yeah, that is why he's you are talking like a learned man, but you are not actually a learned man. You are fool number one, he says, Srila Prabhupada. That is because he's considering his body as the self.
But Krishna said that only the body will get killed, but not the soul.
Correct, correct. That is good point. This body is nothing but a dead lump of matter. This body, when it's in the living condition, means so long the soul is there, it looks very bright, beautiful. And when the soul leaves the body, then what it is? It is just a lump of matter. When the soul leaves the body, then there is no life to this body. It is just a dead lump of matter. So long it is moving, it is worth 1 lakh. See, he's quoting an example here. Okay, what does he say through the example? Just like a motor car. So long it is driving, it is worth 1 lakh. And so long it doesn't move, it's just a simple iron. Simply an iron or a copper or something. Who cares for it? It is thrown away. As long as the car is in the working condition, somebody will pay money and give it, you will get money for it. But when the car is broken and it's nothing but a lump of iron or copper or some material, we just throw it out. Same thing, the body has no value. It has value as long as the soul is there. Otherwise, it has no value. A great man has passed away. But what is such a great man? He's lying on the floor on the bed, the same man. So why are you saying he's gone? Who has gone? You have never seen him. Who has gone? This is knowledge. So our human life is meant for understanding what has gone from the body, which makes the body a lump of matter. So what is gone from the body that makes you considered as a dead person? What is gone from the body?
The soul. The soul.
The soul. That is what is being said here. And then Pandita means a learned man. The thing that is we may be very learned man. Some of us may be lawyers. Some of us may be medical practitioners. Some of them may be expert businessmen. But if we don't know the value of our life, then according to the statement of Bhagavad Gita, we are not Panditaha. When you are not Panditaha, when you know that you are, when you don't know that you are you are the soul, then you are not a Panditaha. That means you are not learned. Okay. So those who are learned, those who are learned, they know they are the soul and they are not the body. Okay. The learned people. A conditioned living being means he has 4 defects. A conditioned living entity is sure to commit mistakes. A conditioned living entity is sure to be under illusion. A conditioned living entity is sure to cheat others and is imperfect. Can somebody say this for me? What are the 4 defects of a conditioned person? I'll highlight it. You know, somebody
being under illusion and to cheat others.
Cheat others.
Yeah, so what that conditioned living entity means, see, we are all conditioned, okay? And that means we are all prone to commit mistakes. We will all, oh, of course, I commit mistakes. We are not like 100% right all the time. And then he's sure to be under illusion, meaning sometimes we are acting as if in the bodily platform. We do get anger, we do are prone to make mistakes. So, like that, we are being put into illusion. And then we are also sometimes cheating others. We have a tendency to do that. And then the senses are all imperfect, because after a certain distance, would you be able to see an object? Our vision, it can be imperfect. We can see something that is over, say, 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers or 2 miles. After that, we'll not be able to see that. That shows that our senses are imperfect. Okay, therefore it is necessity. Just like Arjuna was thinking his senses are imperfect. Now, therefore, when he thought that I cannot come to the right conclusion by exercising my imperfect senses, that is human life. When one understands I'm trying to get my knowledge with my imperfect senses, it is not possible. Then he comes to his senses. That is the right position. So he thinks that I am thinking rightly, my knowledge is perfect. He's a grand fool. That's all. So he's saying that that is why, again, since our senses are imperfect, we will not be able to, that is why, you see, we are not able to see after a certain point or see certain things or understand certain things. That is because our senses are imperfect. Okay, that is what is being clarified here. And Krishna, he doesn't have any of the defects. Okay, and that is why we are getting that knowledge from the person who has no defects. And when we get that knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, we will be able to understand our relationship with Krishna and go back to Godhead. Are you all with me, kids? So did you understand this verse? This verse is talking about how Arjuna is thinking about his body as the self and not the soul, and he is lamenting for something that is not worthy of. Okay, he's saying that the soul doesn't die, so you don't have to lament for it. Okay, and one who knows that he is the soul, that person is actually learned person. That is what is being clarified by Srila Prabhupada here. And the soul, we saw about the soul. What is the soul? What does it do? And we also saw about subtle body, gross body, what they are. And we also saw that the soul is Sachitananda, like God. And what are the attributes is something that we saw. Sachitanand, you have to know the meaning of it. And then we saw that what a learned person will think versus what a foolish person will think. Okay, with that, we will conclude today's session. Are you all ready for the Kahoot? Yes, kids? Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen, kids?
No.
Okay, no, not yet. Can you see it?
Mataji.
No.
Can you all?
What's
Okay.
the pin?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the pin now. Okay, please play. I mean, we are going to start playing now. The pin will be got as soon as I hit classic. Okay.
But Mataji, you could wait because the computer is slow a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll wait for you. Don't worry. 4243869 is the pin.
It's still slow.
Okay, I'll wait for you, Gobind. Don't worry.
Mataji, I accidentally put in enter after A.
Interactive. Oh, enter A, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, A. Okay, no problem. I see 8 participants.
Okay, what is the video?
Gobind, did you join?
No.
Keshav, did you join?
Yeah, I joined, but Mataji, should we on a video?
It's okay, up to you. Okay, but while answering question and answers, I wanted video. Right now, I am not. You don't have to turn on your video. But when I'm asking you some question, I want you to be interactive. Lot of people are not interactive because I don't see them. I just thought if I. Yeah.
There's 10 people in the meeting.
Okay,
I
that's
mean,
I'm
there's 10
coming in.
people.
okay. Can we get started then?
No, I'm coming in.
Oh, okay, okay, Gobind. Yeah, I see you, Gobind. Are you in?
Yes.
Okay, can we get started now?
I think.
Okay. Anybody missing? Or we good? Okay.
Oh
We have 10 questions in Kahoot. Okay. Be careful.
One question.
Okay.
Soul is multi-select. Multi-select means more than one option. Eternal, Sachitanand, external, impermanent.